Everyone talks about Dubai real estate like it's numbers, but the real game is psychology, timing, and power. So today we are not talking about property. We are talking about what actually moves billions. And we are talking to the OG of master brokers, OBGs, Mr. Omar bin Faro. Omar, welcome to Accelerate.
That was a strong introduction.
Thank you. So, Omar, look, I'm going to throw a lot of questions at you. I know that you'll probably have more answers than my questions. But if you're ready, we'll begin.
Let's start.
Okay. So, the first segment is what we call Beyond the Headlines. If we strip away all the headlines, what does the market actually feel like right now?
So definitely because of what has been going on, there is a little bit of tension around, but also at the same time, it's the first time wherein I have seen the affection of people towards the leadership in this country, which I think I've been living here for the last 23 years. I had never realized that how much all of us love the leadership here. It was pretty surprising for me, and it was very emotional for all of us to see the affection and love for the country and for the leadership here, which I had not seen. I think beyond the headlines, as much as we say the disguise and the tension that we went through, also the brighter side of it, we witnessed the affection, and also what we witnessed is what we are capable as a UAE.
Follow-up question. What are the insiders quietly worried about? Not what they're saying publicly.
I'll tell you what the worry is. This has no more be. So this situation is not limited to Middle East now. It's worldwide, right? Because it has affected the global economy in general. So what everyone is worried is to see, of course, it has kind of ended, but the after effects of this, I think, but that will also bring an opportunity for many.
Great. I think great answer. Now let's get a little personal. What would you personally avoid buying today?
Anything wherein one should do a proper due diligence when you make a decision such as buying. I always say that buying, in most of the cases when it's an end user buying, it's a very emotional decision. It's somebody buying a home for themselves. So they want to be very careful. They want to see the neighborhood and all the situation. And it's a hard-earned money, and it's a life-saving. It's a very emotional space for an end user when you look at it. As an end user, do your due diligence. I think it's a great time for you to enter the market because the market has softened. You are able to find some good, attractive deals in very established communities right now. So it's a great time to buy. As for investors,
But the question is, what should they avoid buying?
only thing they should avoid buying is properties that not in UAE.
Okay. So, fine. So, since you said UAE, you think we are building a real city, or are we simply trading inventory? And more specifically, Dubai.
Dubai, what UAE has achieved in past 25, 30 years, it genuinely has never happened in the history of mankind, wherein a city got evolved and elevated so much, wherein it made a statement on the world map. Now, if you go, the reason why a lot of people used to before say that it's fake, it's not real, because there is no reference of such a thing happening in the history of mankind. No city, no country has evolved this fast, at this pace, with such infrastructure, with such a great governance. It has never happened. That's why it's something that you don't understand and you don't have a reference for. You usually think that it's fake or it's not real. But everything is real here. You have real people living in UAE. You have real people. You see the population is growing year by year. Despite of we went through global financial crisis, then we had pandemic, floods, now an unfortunate situation that we went through recently, also demonstrated what not only financially this country is smart, they take care of their people, all of us, in terms of, you see the healthcare sector, it has improved massively. Schools, UAE is a home to one of the best schools in the world. Healthcare, you have the best hospitals around in the world. Infrastructure, you see financial districts here. You have the best lifestyle here. And the only thing that we were talking about before, security, security, security. And I think UAE surprised the world because I don't think anyone was even imagining that this is what we are capable of. This is what this government is capable of. And they demonstrated something, a character I have not seen in my lifetime.
Amazing. And I agree with you. So just going back to, you talked about end users. How much of this market you believe is logic and how much is pure emotion? Is it logic or is it pure emotion?
It's always a combination of both. See, when somebody asks me, do you need speculation in the market or you don't? A controlled speculation is healthy for the market, right? Logic, the market is logical. There is a population coming in. The population has been growing at the same speed. Developers are struggling to find plots and build new communities and new homes, right? Now, yes, I do understand sometimes, you get carried away. When the market is on up, you do get carried away as a developer. You don't do a lot of calculation because all you're seeing is the profit, right? Even if it makes little sense, let me go for it. It is definitely a logic-driven market. Before, it was a very sentimental-driven market, but I think now the fundamentals are very strong. You have 200 nationalities that have invested in this in this beautiful part of the world, and yeah, so this is definitely a logical-driven market. From its positioning of the geographical positioning of UAE to the trade, to the financial district, real estate opportunities. But you see, all the IT companies are here. You have all the elements for the economy, wherein you say the economy is solid, it's bulletproof.
We move on to the next section. Now, the next section is about uncertainty and markets in times of uncertainty. And say it like we are not recording. Like half of the market today just records things and doesn't necessarily mean it. The first question here is, when geopolitical tensions rise, what actually happens behind the scenes in real estate?
What I have learned over the years by reading and listening to some smart people, the best hedge to the inflation is real estate. I'm a firm believer of real estate. People might have different opinion. They might have different angles to look at things. The reason why I personally like real estate, to invest in real estate, is, let's say I bought a property for X amount and it is giving me, let's say, for example, 100,000 rent right now. If the market goes through a turbulence like this, right, this 100,000 rent will go down to 80,000, or it can go to 70, or it can go to 50,000. But one thing is guaranteed, that I will get some return. Now, as long as real estate is always a long-term, it's a long-term investment. And that's how one should look at it. With a horizon of 5 years, 10 years, that's how you should look at real estate. So when you're buying it for 5 years or 10 years, and if a turbulence like this happens in the market, you know that, okay, now I used to get 100,000 on this property as a rent. Now I'm getting 50,000. But you're getting some money out of it, right? And while you're holding the property for another 4 or 5 years and the market recovers, you're again going to go back and you probably will get 120,000 that time. So as a long term, it's a good hedge. It will give you that passive income. As an individual investor, it gives you that return that one always wants. That it gives you the financial freedom. So that's why I like real estate.
Awesome. Investors, are they pulling back, or you think they are repositioning their money?
So a lot of smart investors that I have been speaking to recently, and I'm sure many would agree with me in the market, that a lot of investors that are liquid and that they're looking for deals right now. And they are getting deals. It's not that nothing has...
So they're not pulling back.
No. They're investing. They're investing. Now, you do have investors who had 100 in their pocket and they committed to 150, thinking that they will make so-and-so profit somewhere and that's how they will make the payment. Those are the investors that will kind of struggle, unfortunately. But also, with the same thing, that will also provide an opportunity to the investors that have stayed liquid and now are entering the market.
Does uncertainty create fear or opportunity in Dubai?
So it depends on one's perspective, right? When in our recent meeting in the office, so we had a very open discussion with everyone. So I could see some people taking this situation and they see fear. I could see fear in them, and rightly so. We all react differently, but some of us, we actually saw opportunity. Right? It will have a combination of both, right? I see it as an opportunity, and I would recommend everyone. In life, it all depends on how we look at things, right? You might look at something and you might see it as a problem. I might look at it and see it as an opportunity. So a positive state of mind is a key for one's perspective. Always look at things, and this is what I always recommend, that look at things with a positive mindset, and you will always find opportunities.
And what kind of buyers are you seeing entering the market these days?
So same buyers, all different nationalities. Initially, I thought we might have less of European buyers, but somehow I was happy to learn that I'm wrong. You have all the nationalities. Regardless of the nationality, it's anyone that is liquid, that had actually made those savings, looks at the opportunity right now in the market, and they want to enter.
Has Dubai become a safe haven market, or is that an overstatement?
So safe haven, yes, Dubai is a safe haven. I can still, when I still go out, if I go to other big cities in the world, I'm not wearing this watch. Here, I still feel safe. Now, as my investment, is my investment safe? There are many people like me who did not really move their investments because we believe in this market and we understand the long-term vision of this market. Over the years, whenever we have gone through a situation in this market, the market has always made a strong comeback. And we have always been the first one to come back, to bounce back. So I believe in the leadership. I think not just me, anyone that has stayed in this beautiful country for some time, not only they love this place, they also believe in the leadership because they have seen what this leadership is capable of.
And it's incredible, isn't it? Like, we are all expats,
Right.
but we believe in the leadership like this is our own, right? So
Absolutely.
this whole thing of we are all Emiratis
Yes.
kind of holds true. Okay, so the last question of this segment: if something escalates globally, right? What's the first signal you personally watch? What tells you that something's wrong globally?
So you have financial markets first that kind of give you that indication. Somehow they give you the indication how the money moves, right? But lately, the logic has gone for toss.
Yeah.
Lately, when we have seen some strong leaders around the world making a statement or a tweet, and then markets change, and after 2 hours they come back, they say, okay, I didn't mean this, but I meant this, and the market shifts again. So I have personally never experienced such a ghost ride with one tweet and the markets change, and you see this ghost ride going up and down.
So now what, you watch tweets or you watch financial markets?
Now I think these days you should watch Trump.
Okay, so bonus question in this segment: in times of war, does smart money exit or enter?
In times of war, I personally believe the smart money enters because it's a right time when everyone is in a fear. If you see a panic, that's when you will get good deals. When the market is high, a lot of people still enter. They have different reasons to enter. Everyone has different reasons to invest, but a smart money will always enter. Anyone that that made an entry in 2009 after global financial crisis, you see their entry, and if they exited after 5 years, and you see the profitability that they made. Anyone that entered during COVID or right after COVID, you see the entry that they made at and the exit that they made. So in a situation like this as well, I believe that anyone that takes a position right now in the market, you will have that gap. Because as it is, in some cases, because of the panic, you are able to find some extremely good value propositions wherein you already know that, okay, I'm 20%, 30% ahead if I hold on to it.
Great, Umar. So now this segment is called the Master Broker segment. First question.
I'm the best.
First question, just bookish. What actually makes a master broker?
There are multiple master brokers in the city now, and all are good, actually, to be honest. Everyone is good. Everyone is better than me.
Were you always this humble, or is it just for the interview?
I'm always like this.
Yeah.
I'm always like this.
Okay.
And I have to make an effort to be like this.
Yeah.
But as a master broker, I think what you contribute is the complete back-end support for the developer. It's not only sales. let's say us as one broker group, it's not only sales. In majority of the cases or the projects that we are managing, we are involved from appointing a consultant architect, working with them on the asset mix, looking at the financials of the project. And sometimes we are also involved in getting a contractor on board. Then, of course, all the approvals, we are part of it. And the complete back end, creating SPS collection, sales, marketing, till the handover, we are there. I think as a concept, it's a great concept. Do I see that this concept has a runway? 100%, it has a huge runway. The good thing that has happened over the years is there are more and more players coming into the space, which I feel happy about, because when you have more competition, one tends to elevate himself, right? Yeah. If before 5 years or 10 years back, 15 years back, when I started this concept of master brokerage, there was no competition. There was no one in the market that was doing it. After me, I think there was one or two companies that started at later or closer to 2018 or 2016. They started, and then now you see more and more of them. Competition is good. It only helps you elevate yourself.
So the next question is, what do you do differently that 90% of the brokers don't? Or let's say master brokers.
I think we pretty much do the same thing. Maybe I just do it better.
Okay. Okay, that leads me to the next question. Is this business more skill or more relationships?
It's a combination of both. See, your relationships will take you to a certain level. But if you're not skillful and if you don't develop your skills, you can't go beyond that point. A relation can bring you the business, but to do that business and to execute that business in the right way, you need skills.
Okay, what's the one thing that you've mastered that others probably underestimate?
Again, there's nothing different that I do, to be honest. There's nothing different that I do. What as a master broker, what I have done, because I have been in this space for quite some time, my systems are good. The processes have improved. We kind of, because of the experience in this space, we kind of sometimes preempt what may happen and see a resolution to that before it happens. Right? If it happens, right? So we kind of do have, for all the situations, kind of we have plan A, plan B, what if it happens? So because of the experience that comes with an experience, our systems are great. The entire team is familiar with the structure. Anyone that is coming to the space right now will definitely take some time. And there are certain things, when you do the practical, you learn them. That's when you learn them. That's when you improve. It's no rocket science. It's just that one has to take that call and make that decision that, okay, this is what I want to focus on. While I'm focusing on this, it means that probably you'll have to say no to a lot of other things.
Right.
So we don't do brokerage, right? We don't do brokerage. We don't do leasing. But it's a choice that one made.
If I shadowed you for one day, what would I see that most people never do?
I work hard.
I agree.
At least I believe that I work hard.
Okay. We move on to the next segment. This segment is all about how projects actually win in the market. So is a project success decided before it launches, you think?
In majority of the cases, I can tell you before the launch, how will this project do? That is because, a project, it's a combination of a lot of elements. Let's say we are doing a project in a certain area, right? Now, certain area, before we actually design the project, if one has not done enough due diligence, right, you will struggle to sell that project. Unless, because the market is so good that you will sell anything, any which way. Right. That's one. But in a regular market, in a normal market, if one has not done a proper due diligence of the market, they have not made, they don't know who their buyer is, who my audience are, and what would that audience want in terms of the space and in terms of the price, and what my proposition, the complete proposition is going to be. If that does not attract my buyers, I know for a fact my project is either going to fail or I will struggle to sell this project, right? Now, when you do this study before, right? And of course, while you're in the phase of developing it and before the launch or after the launch, sometimes you do have to make certain tweaks. But then before preparation is extremely important. That planning is extremely important. To know who your customers are is extremely important.
Switching gears, what matters more today, the product or the narrative?
It's always the product, but sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes the narrative wins over the product, because when the market is on high and there's a FOMO that is being created, narrative wins.
Okay.
People don't look at the product that time.
Are we selling homes or selling identity?
Dubai, we sell homes, and for many, they're buying. For them, it's an identity.
At what point in this do you think storytelling becomes more important than the building itself?
Again, it's a great marketing technique. Product is always important. I believe the product speaks for itself, and if one has a history delivering a good product, you don't need a story. But if you are new in the market as a developer, you also need a very strong story.
Okay, and leading from this, why do you think some average projects sell very fast while some great products sell very slow?
So this is the question before answers this. It's a story, a good product. So do you know what is in my right pocket?
Nope.
Absolutely. Till the time I don't show you what's in my right pocket, you will never be able to guess what's inside. So similarly, if a right product is not presented to the market with the right marketing communication, you will never get the right audience for it, and you will struggle.
What is the one factor that consistently, in your experience, has been driving faster sellouts?
It's a combination of price, payment plan, location, and the communication to the market. How do you communicate it to the market? It's a combination of 3-4 things. It can never be one factor, unless, yes, if the market is here and I'm coming at this price, yeah, of course, I will sell it.
Then price wins.
Yeah, then price wins. But if the market is here and I am pricing my product at the market price, I would need the combination of others as well.
We move on to the next segment, which is about Dubai maturing as a market. Do you think Dubai is still an emerging market, or are we already a tier 1 global city?
I see it as a tier 1 global city. So now, if one has to define, how do we define tier 1 global city, and what are the components that a tier 1 global city has? Right?
Basically, are we part of the developed world? Like, are we a New York and a Miami and a London, or are we a Delhi and a Mumbai and a similar emerging city?
Great question. Actually, I'm happy that you asked this question. Now, this is something that I always debate about. Maybe I'm not the smartest guy, but tell me, okay, what does New York have that we don't?
We have more.
I can tell you at least 10 things that we have that they don't have. So I'm definitely developed, right? Now, I don't need, as a UAE and a responsible resident of this country, I can tell you one thing. I don't need anyone to label me that I'm developing or developed. I am developed. I'm definitely, as a UAE, we are better than majority of them out there, right? In terms of the infrastructure, in terms of safety, in terms of opportunities, in terms of lifestyle, in terms of standard of living, schools, education, healthcare, we're definitely better than everyone else. I don't think it's fair that anyone calls us developing and they call themselves developed. So it doesn't make sense.
So in this kind of a tier 1 developed city that you're calling it, who are the new buyers, the brand new buyers?
So you still have the same combination of the nationalities. You still have people from subcontinent like India. They have been top tier 1 buyers for this because it's very convenient for them. And for Indian buyers, I still feel, since I'm from India, I still feel UAE, Dubai specifically, the kind of lifestyle and opportunities you get here, the price is still very attractive. If I compare it with Mumbai and some parts of Delhi and close states next to Delhi, still very attractive. You still have a lot of UK Britishers, they still buy. They believe in this market. Again, the same thing. If you see the prices of London, central London, Mayfair, and Dubai, we still have a huge room to catch up there. Same with Singapore. We're still far behind in terms of price. We're still more attractive than Hong Kong. We have Moscow. All these places, Paris, were still very attractive in terms of the prices, lifestyle, and every other element that this market has to offer.
So this is a very interesting point, and maybe this is a slightly longer question. But we've seen price growing a fair bit since COVID, right? But you're saying that we are still kind of underpriced compared to other metros around
Yeah,
the world.
yes.
The question really was whether product quality improvement is or has kept in line with the price growth. But do you think that our quality was always up there and just price is catching up?
No, before I can tell you, pre-COVID, there were some developers that were actually giving you the good quality. But I think after COVID, something changed in the market. People started valuing their space. People started valuing, they started being more careful while choosing the properties. And because of such a high competition in the market, the developers had one way to win, because the price you cannot do much variation in the price. The only thing that you can do is give them the good quality. And a lot of developers actually also witness that when you give the right quality and a good quality, there is always a buyer to pay that right price for that quality. You have developers like, Omnia kept raising their bar, and see, they're able to achieve the prices. They're able to demand those prices. You have mid developers such as Ellington, right? Ellington sells based on its quality, right? Again, Ellington has launched in JVC and other parts of Dubai. The price point is slightly higher, but every buyer wants to buy that product because of the quality that they maintain. Similarly, other developers also, Shobha has been doing a great job, and so has the major developers. They're there, they have been doing what they have been doing. They have brought this market to where it is today. But I'm saying the smaller developers that are there are actually coming up with good quality products, and they are able to attract the prices. So the quality has improved, and from here, the quality and the layouts that you will see, the space planning, that will only improve from here.
And that's probably the reason why the price has grown as well. Yeah. Okay. What global cities do you think we are truly competing with as Dubai?
When you're in the market, people are going to compare you with everything. If you're going to buy a watch, you will see all the brands, right? If you want to spend, let's say, $100,000 for a watch, you will see from Patek, Rolex, AP, you will see Vacheron, you will see all the watches. So similarly, when you're looking to buy a property, you will see all the markets that you have. But our advantage, people that invest in Dubai, they get high rental returns. You don't pay taxes. There are no capital gains. Your registration of the property is just 4% in majority of the
So
countries.
you said no capital gains tax.
No capital gain taxes. But yes, you have capital gains, but no tax on that. So the stamp duty is cheaper here than in comparison to which we pay 4% Dubai Land Department fees. In other countries, you have 7% to 22% you pay, right? So that's an advantage for a buyer.
Okay, so if you're basically saying Dubai is a little ahead of the curve in that sense, what will make us stay ahead of this curve for the next 10 years? What's the one difference?
Just keep on doing what we are doing, right? We are opening up Dubai is opening up new areas, improving the beaches, investing heavily on the infrastructure. Then you have Etihad Rail that is coming in, which will be fully operational. So the connectivity is improving, the infrastructure is improving. What surprises me, recently, last winter, my parents were here, and my dad asked me a question. He said, why? I mean, he said there was a construction happening in Marina, and they were doing these extensions and making new these bridges. He said, this place does not need anything. It's so beautiful, and the roads are so nice. They're still building it. So that actually tells you someone that is coming from India, someone who's extremely experienced. And when he sees it that way, that he also sees that government is actually putting in a lot of initiative to stay ahead of the game. And the good thing about our leadership here is they are forward thinkers, which we recently realized with the tragedy that happened, right? The situation that we got in. I don't think any of us had even a slightest of clue that UAE is capable of defending itself like this. Me, I was alien to this fact that I had no clue that we as a nation are so capable to handle what they have handled. This was commendable.
So, with this in mind, do you think investors are now building portfolios or are they still just chasing momentum?
No, people are building portfolios here. The investors that we have, see, I have personally been in this market for last 22 years.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of investors that have been in this market as long as I have been in this market, or even some are even longer. New investors are coming, building portfolios. You see a lot of funds, financial institutes across the globe have shown immense confidence after the recent episodes in UAE market, and they're still very bullish about this market.
Why do branded residences sell so well? Is it status or substance?
So you do get, it's a combination of both. So we work with a lot of hospitality branded residents. In our portfolio, we have projects like JW Marriott, W Residence, we have the Luxury Collection by Marriott, we have Doubletree Hilton, and many more. We have Wyndham, and there are quite few of them. When you have a hospitality brand in the branded residence segment, they bring their own lifestyle of that brand to the residents. So you feel like you're living in a hotel, the services that you get, you feel like you're living in a hotel. So it's definitely they scale up the living standard. But when you have other brands, some of them, they don't really add a lot of value. We did a project in Dubai Marina, Frank Muller Alternatives, one of the finest projects in Dubai Marina. If you see the quality, the level of service that tower is going to have, I personally feel it's going to be one of the best buildings in Dubai Marina, and it's going to be one of the best buildings in Dubai. Although it's Frank Muller watches, but the developer himself took a lot of effort, a lot of thought process to make sure that he ends up delivering a good product to the market. So you do have branded residents. It all depends on a developer, how a developer takes it, and how much of the brand does the developer want to put in his product itself. So yeah, you will see a lot of, it definitely does elevate your standard of living, your lifestyle, and it kind of puts you ahead of others.
Okay. You use the word scale or scaling it up. That takes me to my next segment, which is scaling a business or failing at it. What's the hardest part about scaling a master brokerage or a brokerage in this market?
So scaling, there are two ways you can scale your business. One is you can let the business grow organically, which is what I believe in. Sometimes you should let it breathe, make some mistakes, and learn and improve. Sometimes you push that growth. You put it on steroids, right? Personally, I'm not with it. Sometimes while you push that, you force that growth, you can end up making mistakes. I think an organic growth is healthy, and one should push that organic growth. Of course, with little bit of push is always required.
Why do you think most brokerages fail within 1 to 2 years?
Running a brokerage, one needs to have that experience of running a brokerage. You will see a lot of people, they're brokers working in a brokerage. They work hard and close some big deals, make some money, and then they'll say, okay, now I have made so much money. Now I'll be able to run the brokerage. It's difficult for them to understand the pain that the owner of the brokerage goes behind, right? So they tend to open that, and then after that, they learn that because they were good at closing, now they don't have time to close because they have to support their team. They have to be involved in the processes. There's so much more that they have to do rather than closing. That's why they say they end up going back to the brokerage, and they end up staying as a broker.
What's the one mistake, and there could be many, but what's the one mistake you made early that changed how you operate today?
One is I used to make one mistake a day. So I can give you at least 365 mistakes in a year.
But the biggest?
The biggest mistake that I did is, there are many mistakes, but what the regret that I had before, which I don't have now, is because I forced that growth, which we said in the last one. I forced that growth by bringing in 4 or 5 companies together, working as one. When it was a forced growth. I think that was, one should be grow by himself, work hard, focus on the organic growth. You will learn more, and one should make their own decisions. Good decisions, bad decisions, but they have to be your decisions.
Related to this, what's more dangerous? Overconfidence or lack of conviction?
You're still fine with lack of conviction. Overconfidence is more dangerous.
Last one in this segment, what do you do to attract and retain top talent?
You make sure that you're treating them well, and they are getting the right support, the support that they deserve. This is a fast market. Sometimes you get carried away in spending a lot of time in other things. We do our best as a management to spend time to understand, to make them feel that they are valued in the organization. You tend to spend time with them and give them the right support.
So, 5 questions, 1-line answers.
Good.
First, what's the one truth about Dubai real estate most people won't admit?
You can make it fast, and you can also go down very fast.
What's completely overrated right now?
Completely overrated right now. I think some of the off-plan projects.
What's completely underrated right now?
Again, some of the off-plan projects.
What are people focusing on that doesn't actually matter?
They're focusing on a news that does not matter, and they can do nothing about it. All they should focus on is work hard and change their lives.
What's the one signal the market is overheating?
There is no signal. There is no such signal. People are talking about the oversupply. I think they're only misinformed, or they have no information about the supply and demand or the population that is coming to Dubai.
Okay, Omar, this is the rapid fire round. You get a gift hamper if you answer them right.
Okay. Shoot.
No explanations, just answers. Yield or brand?
Yield.
End user or investor?
End user.
Flip or hold?
Hold.
Downtown or beachfront?
Beachfront.
Developer reputation or price?
Developer's reputation.
Data or gut?
Data.
Ready or off plan?
Off plan.
Luxury or volume?
Luxury.
UAE or global diversification?
UAE.
One word for the market right now.
Best.
Thank you, Umar. I think you get the hamper.